President Warner and members of the TriMet board, good morning. My name is Jared Franz, and it's been a really long time, actually, since I last testified to this board. There are a number of errors and omissions in the report that's in front of you today. Many of them are technical, and I'm looking forward to meeting privately with board members and staff to discuss some of those issues, but two of them that I want to raise today. First of all is process. The process that went into this report could have been improved. Process is central to the goals of Title VI. Meaningful public engagement is one of the hallmarks of the Title VI guidelines and what Opal and Bus Riders Unite is all about. But hopefully most of you will remember that I'm committed to the struggle for racial, social, economic, and environmental justice, and I have been supporting ATU757's public policy research and advocacy for the last year. And wow, what a year 2016 has been. At the national level, of course, the election of Donald Trump is ushering in a terrifying, though for many of us not surprising, period in American history. The fascist threat that Trump represents is not new or unique to him, but the power and influence of his administration should be a major concern to anyone who genuinely values human dignity and a more just society.
Islamic terrorism is eating up large portions of the Middle East. They become rich. I'm in competition with them. They just built a hotel in Syria. Can you believe this?
My guess is that the majority of this board, as well as the majority of employees at TriMet, already understand this threat, at least as far as public transportation goes, if not beyond. I know, for example, that most of my many union and non-union friends at TriMet understand this threat. But for sure, not everyone at TriMet feels this way. Not everyone, for example, is probably concerned that Trump plans to appoint an aggressively anti-worker Secretary of Labor who treats people like they are disposable barriers to private profits.
Donald Trump has made his pick for Labor Secretary. It's a guy named Andrew Puzder, something like that. I don't know how the fuck you pronounce it, but it doesn't matter because fuck this guy. He's the CEO of Hardee's and Carl's Jr. Okay, well, this guy, Andrew Puzder, let's go through some of his policy positions. First of all, he's against Obama's overtime rules. Okay, what happened? I thought you cared about the workers. Well, that's a reform that helps the workers a lot. I mean, it used to be the case that about $23,000 a year and less, that if you made that, you get overtime by law. Obama came in and said, no, $47,000 a year and less. You know how many millions of people that helps? That helps a lot. Doesn't matter. They say, we don't want it. It helps workers. It cracks down on the business owners. Cracks down. Makes them make a little bit less profit. Can't have it. He's against Obama's overtime rules. He's against paid sick leave. Oh, no. See, now understand the United States is the only modern industrial nation that does not have paid sick leave by law.
In fact, my guess is there is at least one person at TriMet who's probably thrilled to have a federal co-conspirator in his local anti-worker campaign. Every progressive Oregonian should know and care that TriMet uses substantial local tax dollars to empower somebody like Randy Stedman. Someone whose actions clearly demonstrate hostility to worker dignity and workplace democracy. Someone who's reduced employee morale to historic lows, even among management. Someone who is a root cause of the current turnover and hiring crisis that's negatively affecting transit service, especially during weather emergencies like we're likely to have later today. And yet, a lot of people in this room, especially in today's political climate, expect ATU757 and TriMet to join hands in Salem next year to secure more power and public money for Oregon's largest transit agency. And yet, a lot of the other folks in this room are wondering why ATU757 or organized labor and their supporters would even consider such a foolish thing. For what purpose? So that Randy gets a bigger budget to destroy democracy and dignity in the workplace? Do you really expect us to help pay for the next knife in our back? Seriously? Well, fortunately, we all have about a month before the next legislative session in Salem starts. So there's still time to convince each other that this public agency shares its workers' values and the values of most Oregonians. Let's not disappoint the thousands of workers and riders who depend on TriMet. And let's not just offer fancy words, let's act. Stop supporting the person who is using tax dollars to wage war on transit workers. And then let's face our problems together in the new year. Happy holidays. Thanks for your time.